Stop number 4 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to Hotlanta, Atlanta Motor Speedway, as we're right here today. As we're here for the running of the Motorcraft 500, as we're set for 50 laps of racing here on this 1.522 mile racetrack. This is the old Atlanta we're using, not the current Atlanta configuration. But let's get started line for today's running of the event. On the pole at 192 miles per hour, it is Chris Daugherty. He's got the pole for today's event. He'll be alongside the Daytona 500 champion Kyle Matthews in the Pepsi Chevrolet car number 24. He starts alongside. Second row has Benjamin Miles in number 14 and number 88 Jay Jefferson starting third and fourth in today's event. A pair of Chevrolets on the front 2 rows. Then row 3 will have a pair of Fords. It is Keith Batson in 32, the White Rain Ford. He's won in Atlanta before. Jessica Sheldon, on the other hand, Atlanta's still on her bucket list or she wants to win at. She's in a 17 Valvoline Ford. She starts alongside. Shelton Valley coming off of a third place run at Richmond, the last race in the tour. Fourth row will have Joshua Osborne in car 33, the Reams Chevrolet. He'll be alongside number 10, Simon Bloomfield in Nesquik Chevrolet, car number 10. Osborne, by the way, has one of our in-car cameras in today's event. Going to row number 5, we'll have car number 4, William Brock in the Geico Ford, and number 99, Benny Watson in the winner at Rockingham this season in the Aaron Stream Machine Toyota. And Watson is her second in-car camera in today's event. Going to row number 6, we'll have Zachary Fitzwater, number 39, the Mobile One Dodge, and Vince Almerego, number 44, the Shell Pontiac. Next row down is Carter Friesen in 36, the Stanley Tools Pontiac, and Charles Sanford, number 29, the Sonic Chevrolet. And Charles has our third in-car camera in today's event. Next row down is Joshua Collard in 43, the Auto Value Bumper to Bumper Toyota, and number 74, James Henry in the Fino Lube Chevrolet. Next row down, Trey Wright in 34, the Gould's Pump Chevrolet, and number 8, Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shop Chevy of Rob Evans. Next row down has Jesse Turner in 27, the Castrol GTX Chevrolet, and the Sprint Phone Card Ford number 40, Sprint Phone Card Chevy car number 45 of Mike Becker. Next row down has Matt McIntyre in 37, the Timberwolf Pontiac, and Dylan Young in number 2, the AC Delco Chevy. Next row down has Nathan Hudson in car 38, the Great Clips Toyota, and Johnny Gardner, number 22, Discount Tires Dodge. Next row down has Cole Deaver, number 3, the Oreo Chevrolet. He won in Atlanta last season, by the way. The man from Brunswick, Georgia. Beside him from the state of Ohio, Levi McIntyre, number 60, the Fastenal Ford. McIntyre, Levi, by the way, the winner this season at Richmond. Next row down has Quentin Moore, number 89, the Racing for Jesus Chevrolet, and Bobby Frazier, number 1, the Yellow Freight Transportation Dodge. Next row down has number 62, Sky Cummins in the South Point Hotel and Casino Chevy, and Track Gear Ford, number 9, of Cat Batson. Next row down, Ashlyn Boyd, number 18, the MB&A Pontiac, and number 5, Ryan Brummer, the GMAC Chevy. The next row down has number 57, Henry Sanford in the Mountain Dew Chevy, and the Verizon Wireless Dodge, car number 12 of Mitchell Collins. Next row down has Gene Sanford in 21, the Rhesus Chevrolet, and number 63, that is Diego Yepes in the Lysol Pontiac. Next row down, Aiden Shepard in 00, the Aquafresh Pontiac, and number 87, Bell's Mobility Chevrolet of Dion Moon. Next row down has number 66, Elijah Gordon in the Duraflame Dodge, and the Oakwood Home Chevy car 15 of Eli Bright. And starting shotgun, I feel, will be Zach Winkle in car number 7, the Geico Chevrolet. Field getting set for field lined up for 50 laps of racing here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And as the Motorcraft 500 is about to commence here on the first race on the 1.5-mile racetrack, and here comes the command to fire the engines for this race here in Atlanta for stop number 4, the Castrol GTX Cup Series.
3, 2, 1, gentlemen, start your engines.
Ah, the sweet sound of those 41 V8 engines revving up for today's event here. Again, our in-car cameras today will be carried by Benny Watson, Joshua Osborne, and Charles Sanford. That's who will be carrying our in-car cameras in today's event here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As Chris Daugherty got his first pole of the season, the Sector 2 Chevy, and he and the Daytona 500 winner Kyle Matthews starts on the front row, all Chevrolet front row. Pole speed for the event 192 miles per hour. Daugherty the only one at over 192 here at Atlanta in qualifying. As the field comes off turn number 4, the green flag is out, and we are underway in the Motorcraft 500. This is the first mile-and-a-half track we've been to on the circuit here. This track kind of reminds you a little bit of Homestead somewhat, except this track is a slight bit narrower than Homestead, and a little bit more banky and a little bit more distance, a 1.522 as opposed to just a mile and a half for Homestead. But Chris Daugherty leads the first lap of the event. The first lap tied at 173 miles per hour. But they will be a whole lot faster than that from here on out here as they come off turn number 4. Benjamin Miles is in second position. Kyle Matthews third. And the second lap for Daugherty tied at 189 miles per hour. They'll run speeds upwards of about 190 in the draft on this racetrack here. And yes, the draft is effective here at Atlanta without question. As you see, Jay Jefferson running in fourth position in battle for fifth between Keith Batson and Joshua Osborne. And Osborne getting the push from Jessica Shelton in 17. This is one of the best qualifying runs probably for Keith Batson this season in that White Rain Ford, as he's had a kind of a lackluster first 3 races of the season. And he hopes to turn all that around. Batson has won here before at Atlanta, as a matter of fact. He won in the Dale Jarrett Quality Care Colors one season. So maybe that driver scheme of his could be good luck here today at Atlanta. And Shelton moving her way up through the field as she's about to pull up to Joshua Osborne. Now that's for 5th place. And meantime, Jay Jefferson taking over third from Kyle Matthews as Chris Daugherty and Benjamin Miles continue to pace the field. Miles all over the back bumper of Daugherty's car. Well, I was about to say here a few minutes before I got sidetracked on what I was saying here, is that this track in Atlanta, like any other mile-and-a-half track, like this track, Charlotte, Texas, and those 3 right there, those tracks are considered engine builders' nightmares. And when we look at some of the in-car camera shots, we'll take a look at the tachometer and kind of give you an explanation why. In fact, as a matter of fact, we'll do that right now from Joshua Osborne's view as he's following behind Jessica Shelton. Right now, watch the tacho. That's the instrument right there where the pointer's at. Down to about 7,700 RPMs in the middle of 1 and 2. Now he's over 8,000 already at this point. Now watch him. He's 9,000 RPMs in the turn number 3. So down about maybe 7,750 in the middle of 1 and 2, in the middle of the turns. And upwards of about 9,000 to maybe 9,100 RPMs in the turn number 1. So these engines are getting quite a workout here on a track like Atlanta without question. Do you think that's something else in Ashland Boyd? There somehow an in-car in his view. So somebody stuck a 4th in-car camera on us. Battle for the lead, meantime, Chris Daugherty and Jessica Shelton going at it, and Shelton We said she's never won Atlanta before, and she's got bad luck on this track. Well, she is wanting to get at her after it with a vengeance in that 17 car. She takes the lead here at Atlanta. Mind you, Shelton does have a win in our competition at Atlanta before, but that was in the Dr. Pepper Cup series. That was the series that Kyle Matthews ran. She drove the Davey Allison 28 course, and interesting fact, who finished second in that race? The guy you're listening to right now. I was driving the 26 Quaker State car and finished second to Jess in that race. But anyway, enough of that. That's her only Atlanta win in NR from what I know. But she'd like to get one here in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, and right now she is leading in the moment. Dalton second, Osborne in third position, as he and Keith Batson battling right there. There's fifth place, Zachary Fitzwater. Kyle Matthews is in sixth. Matthews off to a hot start this season at 24 car after his Daytona 500 when he's leading the points coming into this event. Jay Jefferson's running in seventh right now. Benjamin Miles has dropped to eighth. Ninth is William Brock. And Benny Watson right now runs in 10th position in the Airstream Machine Toyota as we ride on board with Benny Watson. Give me a speedometer check right there. Watson off turn number 2 at 185 miles an hour. 196, 97, 198 miles an hour in turn number 3 goes Watson. And down about 173 miles an hour in the middle of 3 and 4, and he gets a draft off the 4 of William Brock. Off turn 4 to 187 miles an hour, and up to about 199 miles an hour in turn number 1. And that last lap for Watson, 188.46 miles per hour. And again, saw 199 blink in the turn number 3. He is in between William Brock in number 4 and Carter Friesen in 36th. Friesen running in 11th position, by the way. The only Canadian driver in the field. Trey Wright in 12th. 13th is Jesse Turner. That Castrol car running pretty strong here today. Cole Deaver, the man from Brunswick, Georgia. Actually, you would think this is his home track. It's his home state, but this is not his home track. He's actually technically more close to Daytona than he is Atlanta, believe it or not. But nonetheless, this is his home state, and he would like to do well in front of his home state fans here in Georgia, as the Oreo car runs in 14th right now. His last lap over 187 miles an hour. Deaver has won here at Atlanta before, by the way. That came, I think, last season, or season before last, whichever it was. On board with the 16th place car, Charles Sanford. Sanford, the season 15 champion in this series. And he also over 9,000 RPMs in the turn number 1 as you saw the tachometer in the middle of the car. He is in 15th right now. 16th is Joshua Collard. 17th, Sky Cummins. 18th, Vince Almarego. Simon Bloomfield's 19th. 20th is Nathan Hudson. 21st is Kat Batson. 22nd is Matt McIntyre. Rob Evans, 23rd. Mike Becker, 24th. Eli Bright, 25th. Levi McIntyre, the Richmond winner, is 26th. 27th is Gene Sanford. Dylan Young, 28th. 29th is Mitchell Collins. 30th is Ryan Brommer. Bobby Frazier, whose claim to fame this season was one of the wins in the 125 qualifier at Daytona. He is 31st right now. 32nd is Ashlyn Boyd. 33rd is Elijah Gordon. Quentin Moore, 34th. 35th is James Henry. 36th is Johnny Gardner. Diego Yepes, 38th. 37th, 38th is Henry Sanford. Aiden Shepard, 39th. 40th is Dion Moon. And last right now is Zach Winkle in 41st. But back to the leaders. They're all chasing the lady from South Carolina. Jessica Shelton leads here today at Atlanta. Chris Dalton second position still, and here Osborne still third. Fourth is still is Batson, and Matthews has gotten by Fitzwater to take fifth. Rear bumper cam from Joshua Osborne's car. Keith Batson to the outside of the racetrack here. As you look at the front end of his Thunderbird, a 1997 Thunderbird is what Batson's driving. Osborne driving a 2010 Chevy Impala. And right there behind a 2000 Monte Carlo there of Kyle Matthews. Batson looks low on the track here as they come through the third and fourth turns here. Osborne's going to slam the... I said Osborne was going to slam the door on him, but Batson looked even deeper to the low side, and in the turn number one, Osborne does slam the door in Batson's face. As they come off turn number two here, Dalton still chasing Shelton at the moment. Fitzwater's in sixth position. Jefferson seventh. Eighth is Benjamin Miles. Ninth is Benny Watson as they pulled ahead of Carter Friesen. Friesen's now taken 10th away as William Brock has slid back to 14th position as Jesse Turner, Charles Sanford, and Cole Devers all gotten by him. We mentioned Joshua Osborne as the rear bumper cam. Well, this man is the front bumper cam. That's Charles Sanford's car. Looking right, the Castrol Chevrolet of Jesse Turner, a 1999 Monte Carlo is what he's driving. Sanford's car, a 2006 Monte Carlo. And Sanford unleashes the power under the hood of his Sonic Chevrolet, and he takes the 11th position away from Turner. Now has his sights sets on Carter Friesen for 10th. So they're all trying to close up on that front bunch of cars here as Osborne's now lost a spot to Kyle Matthews. Matthews up to fourth position at the moment as he is drafting off Keith Batson. Jessica Shelton, right now the only car over 190 miles per hour in this race, 190.3 to be exact. Jesse Turner second fastest at 189.84. Simon Bloomfield at 189.82, 189.81 for Vince Almarengo, and Fitzwater has the fifth fastest lap at 189.76. So Shelton, the only car in this race so far that's topped 190 miles per hour. And that shows you how fast that 17 Valvoline car is. As she's trying for her first victory of the season, as she is, and we'll be halfway through this race there. By the way, already this will be 25 in the books and 25 to go. So plenty of racing left to go here at Atlanta in the Motorcraft 500s. We watched Benny Watson go by Benjamin Miles, and Jay Jefferson's lost a spot 2 miles at the moment as he and Watson, as they've now closed up on Fitzwater in the Mobile One Dodge. And meantime, battle for second place about to develop here as Kyle Matthews looks slow on Chris Dollerton. As the Ohio-Kentucky combination of Matthews and Osborne beats out the Texas-Maine combination of Dollerton and Batson. And Matthews is going to take second position, so you got blue cars first and second at the moment. With Osborne in the black and red 33 up in the third position now, as Fitzwater's taking fourth now. So Dalton drops from second to fifth, maybe sixth right now. As Keith Batson looks low as he's got Benny Watson, Benjamin Miles, and Jay Jefferson behind him. So Dalton's going to get hung out to dry. That'll be a term you'll probably hear a lot of when we hit Talladega a few races from now for the Winston 500. But next race after this race here in Atlanta will be at Darlington, which is next on the tour for the Dodge Challenger 500. And then another mile and a half after Darlington, it'll be another mile and a half at Texas for the Interstate Batteries 500. So that's a couple races coming up from now. Dollerton and Jefferson battling it for position. That's for 8th place. And meantime, Charles Sanford's gotten by Carter Friesen for the 10th spot. So Sanford moving up through the field nicely. The man from the state of California is where he's from here. Southern California to be exact, just from the outskirts of LA. As we said, won the season 15 championship on this very same racetrack last season, or not last season, but season 15, I should say. This is season 22. What are you talking about, Qualls? Anyway, but Sanford has pretty good history on this racetrack in Atlanta. It's never won here before, but still like to still nevertheless having a good run here today. As you see, Friesen, Turner, and Deaver going at it. That's 11, 12, and 13 going at it right here. Jesse Turner trying to find a spot underneath Carter Friesen's car. Deaver trying to find a spot underneath Turner. See what happens here on the backstretch as they for these three cars. They may add a fourth one here with William Brocken at number 4, Geico Ford. Friesen holding him off at the moment right now here at Atlanta as they come across the start-finish line, and here comes Deaver looking low for second place, not second place, for 12th place on Jesse Turner, and he's got it. And Deaver once more as he's going to try to look inside of Carter Friesen's car. Pontiac and 2 Chevrolets, they're going at it here. That's for 11th position again. Pretty good battle on the track right now. Average speed so far after 30 laps, 186.5 miles an hour. Here comes Deaver to the low side again as this is for 11th place on Carter Friesen's car. Friesen's car's been running pretty strong this season so far. And he, like Sky Commons, who we see back there, and we'll talk about him in a minute. Friesen, one of those guys like Sky Commons, there trying, maybe one of the guys to watch to get his first Castrol GTX Cup Series win. And Deaver has that 12th spot as the 11th spot by just a smidgen over Carter Friesen. Meantime, this pack of cars is closing up. That's Trey Wright in the 34. Then the aforementioned Sky Commons in 62. He's running in 16th position. 17th is Joshua Collard. 18th, Vince Almarego. 19th, Rob Evans. And Matt McIntyre is in 20th with Kat Batson in 21st. And anchoring that pack is Mike Becker in 22nd position. Back to the leaders, and still Jessica Shelton out in front with Kyle Matthews trying to find a weakness out of that 17 car. Lap speed's dropping off just a little bit, down to about 183 miles an hour out of all these cars. We see 184 though saw 184 out of Benjamin Miles in the 14 Navy machine, and Matthews has pulled up in the back bumper of Shelton as they come off turn number 2. Battle between two of the champions in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Shelton, the 4-time champ, and Matthews, who wants to be a 2-time champ this season. Margin just 0.14 of a second separating the front 2 cars between here at the moment as we are closing up on 10 to go. Comet is driving the Jeff Gordon cars. Shelton driving the Matt Kenseth cars. Here the 17 Valvoline Busch car from 2000. I forget which year it was. I think it was 07 or 08, or 09, whichever year it was. But anyway, Joshua Osborne running 3rd position still. Benny Watson running in 4th. And 5th is Benjamin Miles. Keith Batson running in 6th position. Batson having his best run of the season so far. He like to hold on to that or maybe improve on it. Or maybe even improve in that 32 car. Fitzwater 7th. Dollarton 8th. 9th is Jefferson and Sanford running in 10th position. Deaver still running in 11th here with Friesen. You see this pack of cars right there. There's Becker, and you got Eli Bright behind him now in 23rd position. Dylan Young in 24th. Levi McIntyre 25th. And Gene Sanford running in 26th position in the 21 car. Ryan Brommer 27th. Nathan Hudson 28th. 29th is Elijah Gordon in the Duraflame colors. Started back in one of the last rows, though, so he's moved up some. Mitchell Collins running in 30th. Simon Bloomfield 31st. 32nd is Bobby Frazier. Quentin Moore 33rd. Johnny Gardner 34th. A couple of big names back there. Quentin and Johnny not having good runs here today. But they'll want to improve. You bet they'll want to improve on their setup as we head to Darlington next on the tour. Slow start for those two drivers. Ashlyn Boyd 35th at the moment. James Henry 36th. 37th is Diego Yepes. 38th is Aiden Shepard. 39th Henry Samper. 40th is Dion Moon. And Zach Winkle all alone in 41st position as we are down to already 10 laps to go. 9 to go this time by. And battle for third. Benny Watson goes by Joshua Osborne. Osborne up the track. Here comes Benjamin Miles to the low side. Toyota, Chevy, and Chevy. 3, 4, and 5 at the moment. And you got a Ford lurking in there in the shadows. That's Keith Batson, the man from the state of Maine. And he's got the flying Aussie. That is Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater driving the potent Mobile One Dodge out of Gardner Motorsports. Actually, it's a Penske ride, but still, you know what I'm talking about. And battle for the lead possibly developing here. Matthews is pulled on the back of Shelton's car now. Kyle Matthews maybe sizing up Shelton for a last lap duel here at Atlanta, possibly. He's done about pretty much everything on Jess at the moment with there. He's gone high, he's gone low, he's dropped back, he's moved up. I think we're fixing to find out what's going to happen here in these final 7 laps in this race. Again, it's Shelton in 17, Matthews in 24. Ford versus Chevrolet. And Matthews has dropped back again just a little bit there. He's backed off. He has backed off way. He's backed way off on Shelton's car, coming off the fourth turn, trying to get a run. And that time by was just a quarter of a second between those two cars here. As we watch Watson and Miles go at it for third position right now. They'll be, and Matthews at the high side trying to get some straightaway speed as here he comes as he gets a draft off Shelton's car. Battle reminding me a little bit of the battle of the spring '95 race between Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon, which Gordon won that day. This is looking to be almost the same way right there in this race. Coming down, it'll be coming down this time. It'll be 4 laps to go this time by. This will be the completion of lap number 46. 4 to go. Matthews on the back bumper of Shelton. 700ths of a second that time by between those two cars. There you saw the front 10 cars in the same view. Off turn number 4 they come. Matthews up on the back bumper again. Now with 3 laps to go. Matthews to the inside of Shelton. Here they come into turn number 3. Or turn number 1, excuse me. And Matthews takes the number 1 spot from Shelton off turn number 2. Shelton to the high side. Matthews on the low side. Benny Watson's not giving up though at 99 cars. He's now pulled up about to close up on his front 2 cars now with 2 laps to go. Kyle Matthews looking for a second victory of the season. Shelton looking for her first. It'll be the white flag this time by. Into the third turn they come. Shelton now pulls up to the low side of Matthews' car. Off the fourth turn they come. 49 laps in the books. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Shelton trying to go high. Trying to find some room here. Off the second turn they come here. Jessica Shelton trying to catch Kyle Matthews. Matthews out in front. They come through turns 3 and 4. I don't know if Shelton's got anything off the 4th turn. And she will not do it. And when is Shelton ever going to win in Atlanta? Because Kyle Matthews wins the Motorcraft 500. Jessica Shelton's going to be thinking, what am I going to have to do to win here at Atlanta here? I tell you what. For a minute, it looked like she had the whole thing well in hand, but Kyle Matthews, got to give him props, though, that 24 car. When we said he was going high, he was going low, dropped back, moved up, and I said we were fixing to find out what was going to happen on the shootout, and I think Matthews did have something in that disposal in that 24 car. But he is the man here today. Kyle Matthews wins the Motorcraft 500 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, averaging 184.7 miles per hour. And gives Jessica Shelton a little bit of a bump. I don't know what that was all about, but probably say nice race. But either that or Shelton brake checked him. I don't know. Anyway, the rest of finishing order here for you here. Kyle Matthews wins. Jessica Shelton second. Third, Benny Watson. Fourth will go to Benjamin Miles. Fifth to Keith Batson. A good day for him in that number 5 and the number 32 car. Chris Stollerton 6th. Joshua Osborne dropped to 7th. 8th will go to Zachary Fitzwater. Charles Sanford moved up in the 9th. And 10th position will go to Jay Jefferson. Average margin of victory 100. Margin of victory 67,000th of a second at the start finish line. Rest of the finishing order here for you here today. Here, Jesse Turner comes home in 11th position. 12th to William Brock. 13th, Carter Friesen. Trey Wright 14th. 15th will go to Sky Cummins. Cole Deaver dropped to 16th. Joshua Collard, Matt McIntyre, Kat Batson, and Levi McIntyre with up in the 20th in the final running order here at Atlanta. Rest of the finishing order: Rob Evans, Dylan Young, Ben Salmorego, Gene Sanford, Eli Bright, Mike Becker, Ryan Brommer, Elijah Gordon, Nathan Hudson, and Mitchell Constance rounds out the top 30. Then Simon Bloomfield, Bobby Frazier, Quentin Moore, Johnny Gardner, Ashlyn Boyd, James Henry, Diego Yepes, Aiden Shepard, Henry Sanford, Dion Moon, and Zach Winkle was the final running order in today's event. So 4 races are in the books, and our first repeat winner of the season, Kyle Matthews, wins here today in the Motorcraft 500. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got in our races, big gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA says called desires for his channel. And please be sure to check out the Coors Light Truck Series, Pizza X Series, and the Hershey's Cup Series, and also our Skittles Super Speedway Series as well. Be sure to check those series out as well in this channel. And of course, coming soon to the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series from Seth Cole, so you might want to watch out for that series. And we hear it's pretty good too. And also on the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel, we have Michael Norman's Boas All Pro Series, and on Thrashman 899's channel, the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. So some of the best offline races are in the NNSCRA under the NNSCRA umbrella, and you will not regret checking those races out neither. So that will do it here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here, as we'll see, as Darlington is next on the tour for the Dodge Challenger 500. So for now, the James Qualls in production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems?